This past week, Marjorie Taylor Greene held a anti-transgender rally right outside the Capitol, and pretty much nobody showed up. According to the reports and the photographs of what took place there, she had at most 12 people show up for her little anti-trans rally, her bigoted hate rally, and she could only get a dozen people. And no major media outlet, of course, covered it. They probably didn't even know what it was if they drove by. They thought, oh, there's a group of people standing on the corner waiting to cross the street. 12 people showed up to her hate rally. And not just any 12 people. As LGBTQ Nation points out, the rally was a veritable who's who of contemporary transphobic trolls, including members of the book-banning parents' rights group Moms for Liberty, members of the anti-LGBTQ conservative think tank Heritage Foundation, detransitioned young adult right-wing media darling Chloe Cole, J.K. Rowling fanboy Chris Elston, conspiracy theorist James Lindsay, sexually harassing comedian Alex Stein, and of course, Green herself. Again, that is what LGBTQ Nation said of the attendees there. So it's not even like it was, oh, okay, it's an impromptu, Marjorie Taylor Greene's there. She had the big people of the anti-LGBTQ movement. This was a thing that was planned. They didn't all just happen to be there. They just, I guess, couldn't attract anybody else to come to their little hate rally? And then what happened is the Heritage Foundation got on Twitter and said that they were, quote, calling out policies that push for minors to have access to puberty blockers, cross-sex hormones, and sex reassignment surgeries. Things that, by the way, aren't happening. Nobody is pushing puberty blockers or hormone replacement therapy on children. No one is pushing that. No one's pushing that on anybody. And sexual reassignment surgeries actually do not occur on minors to begin with. But here's the thing. And maybe Marjorie Taylor Greene will eventually realize this. She may already know it now, just doesn't want to give it up because she thinks culture wars are a winning issue. But nobody actually cares. You see, people in this country are struggling. They can't afford eggs right now. A couple months ago, they couldn't afford gas. Supply chain issues still plague this country. Inflation, even though it's going down, is still really, really horrible. We are being priced out of the housing market. Do you see where I'm going with this? These are called kitchen table issues. That's how politicians refer to them. Because they're things that a couple or an individual thinks about while they're sitting at their kitchen table. How the hell am I going to pay my bills? How am I going to afford prescription drugs? You know what they're not talking about at the kitchen table? Can you believe that a transgender athlete 8,000 miles away at a high school we've never heard of gets to play football? What an unbelievable country we live in. This is terrible. That's my biggest concern. Oh no, the lights just went out because I didn't pay the power bill because I've been unemployed for 6 months. Yeah, nobody's talking about the transgender movement at the kitchen table. Except, of course, for members of the transgender movement who are being persecuted by people like Marjorie Taylor Greene. For the average, everyday, working-class American, they truly don't give a damn. Now, they may talk about it with their friends like, I can't believe they're letting a transgender athlete swim in competition. That's ridiculous. But it doesn't actually move them because it doesn't actually affect them. What does affect them is having to choose between buying food today or buying that prescription that they can't afford. That's what people care about. And yeah, I know Republicans get all in a frenzy about the culture war issues, but as we saw this past election cycle, it didn't actually move them when it came to voting. And now, apparently, it's not even moving them when it comes to gathering for a good old-fashioned hate rally. Marjorie Taylor Greene looked once again like an idiot, and hopefully she continues to look like one as her career progresses. Hi everyone, this here is little Athena, and Athena would like to know why you haven't subscribed to Fair and Balanced yet, so please don't let Athena down. Subscribe today.